And we're live. Woohoo! Another season, season 2 of the Boss Moves Media Show. This is the season premiere. It is my absolute pleasure to be here. And I have an incredible guest here with me today in the morning, all the way in the USA. Hi, Morocco. Good morning. How are you?
What's up? How you doing? I'm good. I'm good. How you?
Good. I see you brought an Ashanti for me. Yes!
What's happening?
Hey, I love it. How are you? It's been a minute.
It's been a month of Sundays, as we say. Yeah, it's been.
Right?
You know. How you doing? How's Joburg?
You
How's
look
that say, man?
amazing.
I miss South Africa.
I know we miss you in South Africa. And
Yeah.
I mean, just to give a little bit of context to our viewers, and also because we're going to have this live in the future, I mean, broadcast in the future. So I met you when you were in South Africa, right? And you were promoting Empire. And I remember I was working for a radio station called 5FM at the time, and we did an interview. And then I later met up with you again in New York City, and you took me for one of the most amazing nights I have ever had in New York. You showed me all of the places that I needed to see. I saw the Apollo. I went out to, we were in Harlem. We were in Harlem, right?
Yeah. We're in Harlem.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you showed a girl a good time. I really appreciate that. And it's such an honor to have you here because, listen, your reputation far exceeds you. I mean, you have done such great things, and you know, I'm here to celebrate that today. So I know that people know you from acting in various, productions. NCIS, Empire, you name it, Frasier. I mean, you were all the way back, in Frasier, which is pretty incredible. How did this all begin for you? Where did it all start?
Started in Chicago theater. Started doing theater in Chicago about 2 decades ago, man, and just fell in love with acting, fell in love with theater, fell in love with the craft, and started auditioning.
Rock, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Nice.
Did you lose me? Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Test.
Yeah, no, I got you. I've got you. You're back.
So yeah, I was saying I started in Chicago theater, 20 years of theater. And I started auditioning for TV film. And, the stuff that we do in theater trains you for TV film. So I was, didn't realize that theater training would go so far. So here we are.
Yeah. And theater plays a huge part in your life, a huge role as well, because you, not only did you start there, but also it's very big in Chicago, right? And you're growing up in the West Side, those were probably theater actors were probably the celebrities that you saw the most. And those are the people that you looked up to. Yeah?
No, actually, I didn't know any actors growing up. I didn't know.
Really?
Yeah, I did, where I came from, there was no actors. I mean, I watched television, I watched movies, but I didn't realize it was like a million miles away. I didn't meet actors until I became an adult. So yeah, it was a million miles away. I didn't realize that you could make a living doing it. So yeah.
That's interesting. And then where did the inspiration come from?
Life just takes you different ways, and you have to listen.
Because sure. And I know, I mean, from the last conversation I had with you, you were training for the Marines. Are you a Marine?
Yeah, ex-Marine. Well, they say once a Marine, always a Marine. But I joined the Marine Corps when I was like 19. I was 19 years old, and came out of the Marine Corps, and I didn't want to be a police officer or working inside a prison system. So I kind of fell into acting. I actually I enrolled in school. I went back to school. I had all these business classes, and I had one acting class just as an elective. The business classes, I was falling asleep. I was like, oh, man. You know what I'm saying? I tried to follow my dad's footsteps. And the acting class, I was alive. I came alive. I was just like, I couldn't wait to get to that class. So, I just took more classes, did some theater, and
sure,
here we are.
Yeah, yeah, and that's amazing. And I mean, from you then building and kind of crafting, your skills, what is it that really drew you to Hollywood? Because you've made a big name for yourself. And is that like a natural progression for people in theater to kind of want the showbiz and, that the big life?
Well, no, it wasn't about, some actors, they get in it to be famous. Some get in it for the money. I got into it because I love doing what I was doing.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, unless you're on Broadway continuously, it's hard to make a living doing theater. You know what I mean? So, the older you get, the more your expenses become, and then you have kids, and you get married, and you get divorced, and you have other kids. So it's just like you can't sustain a lifestyle on just theater. So the natural progression is to start auditioning for TV and film, and then you start booking that stuff, and then and then it keeps going. So and I try to stay on stage at least once a year. It's gotten a bit more infrequent because the shooting schedules, and it's hard to turn down certain checks.
Sure, of course.
I've done the art for 20 years, and now okay, let's let's make some money. I still enjoy doing the art, and I can still make money, and I can produce other filmmakers. I produced a film in Uganda. I produced a TV show in Uganda, and also a docuseries. So I'm able to help young filmmakers and actors and provide jobs with what I'm doing. So I'm giving back, and I give free workshops. I've done workshops in about 5 or 6 countries and on the continent of Africa itself, and along with doing classes here, teaching classes in America. So
yeah, and I love that, and we're going to delve into that a little later. But I think one thing I do want to touch on is theater right now, and I know that it's a very tough time for the theater industry. I mean, with all these lockdowns and the pandemic, where do you see the future of theater, and can it actually exist on a digital platform and still give you that theater feel?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Yeah.
The beauty about theater is just it's live. It's like a live concert. It's like you get the feeling. It's right there. I mean, some people, we do Zoom readings of plays, but it's not the same. It's not the same. Being on that stage, having that immediate feedback, and you can feel the audience. You got an audience. Like usually an audience in the beginning of a play or of a show. Somebody's sniffing, somebody's coughing, somebody's trying to grab candy. We can hear everything on stage. But when you got them when it's quiet and a mouse pissing on cotton, you got them. And you don't get that feedback on a virtually. You can't. It's impossible for me. I don't know how you would do that.
So then, what is the future? What's the future of the business then?
Well, I mean, it's the same with what we're doing. We're going back to work now. So I just did a TV show last week and earlier this week actually, where we were testing every day. We're being tested. You might have to quarantine your actors, do some spacing inside theaters. You can't sell them out anymore. So you do, the roles will have to, the rows of seating, you would have to do 6 feet or, skip a row or something like that. It's, they're going to have to figure it out.
Yeah.
Temperatures at the theater, or what have you. But yeah, I mean, theater is suffering, Broadway, theater actors are suffering, directors, the crew, everybody that depends on it, the businesses around it, it just brings in so much revenue that, they're trying to figure it out, and they're trying to come back now slowly but surely. We are starting to open up. I mean, they have a vaccine. I'm not interested in taking it at this point.
Yeah. And I mean, I believe in pro-choice. I believe that everybody really should just feel it out, and if you're not feeling it, that's okay, And I mean, it takes me back to the times of Shakespeare, where he used to have plays and the setting was outdoor. I mean, is that something that we could be seeing a lot of?
You could, because they do theater, theater in the park in New York, but like
Yeah, yeah.
New York and Chicago are the two leading theater cities in America. So when it gets the wintertime is brutal. You can't do theater.
Mm,
You
I
know,
know.
spring, summer, part of fall. You have maybe 5, 6 good months. That you can do
Mm,
theater.
mm.
You where it's not going to get crazy. We don't. Unfortunately, we don't have the weather of South Africa.
Yeah. It's not always sunny this side as well. You
It's
know what I
true,
mean?
but it doesn't
Yeah.
get to like
No,
brutal.
definitely not. I mean, I was never ready for New York winter ever. Um, but I mean, you then you've gone on and from your days in the Marines, and you've really crafted your career in an amazing way. And I'm sure that there are elements of what you've learned in the Marines that you're bringing into your craft. And I know just by watching you and the way you move that you have a military way of doing things. You are really focused. There's so much discipline in what you do. What else have you taken from your experience in the Marines into the showbiz?
It's that work ethic, it's that discipline.
Yeah.
Um, like you say, you have to be strategic with your career. So there's things that I won't take. There's things that I don't, I'm not interested in doing. There are, directors I'm not interested in working with. There are TV shows that I'm not interested in working on. So it's just, and when I get a character, I look for the humanity in that character. If he's a bad guy, I still look for that humanity. So I have to be very strategic in the roles that I take.
Yeah.
It's that hard work, it's that discipline. It's, you know, never say, as we say in the Marine Corps, never say die mentality. You just have to keep pushing, keep walking forward. For every no, there's a yes. So if you get 200 no's, all you need is that one yes. And you take that one yes and you take that opportunity and you turn it
Yeah.
into something, you work hard and you craft it and um, you put in that hard work and turn out a beautiful piece of art if you
Mm.
can. So that's what I do with it, you know.
Absolutely. And I absolutely love that. So we're going to take a bit of a break. And when we come back, I just want to know a little bit more about Morocco Omari. I want to know about your family. Are you a family guy? Also just the work that you're doing in the rest of the world. I mean, you're a daddy, you're a father to so many young, aspiring actors and producers all over the globe, particularly in Africa. And I want to know where that comes from and your heart for that. This is the Boss Moves Media Show. Season 2. This is the season premiere, and we have the incredible Morocco Omari. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to it. This is the Boss Moves Media Show, Season 2 premiere, and we have the incredible Morocco Omari here with us. So, I mean, what shall I say about him? He is an actor, he is a screenwriter, a producer, a director, a media mogul, and theater. I mean, the list is endless, and I wouldn't know where to start. But more than anything, you're this young boy once upon a time that grew up in the wild, wild west, right? West side to east side. That's all I know about the West, by the way. Tell me about growing up in Chicago and just the wildness of it. Because when I think about it, and I think about Biggie and Tupac and Snoop Dogg, all I think of is just wild. What is it like growing up in Chicago?
It's one of those things when you grow up in a city or in a neighborhood, you don't realize how rough or dangerous it is until you get older. Because it's your normal and you don't know anything else. Either you learn how to fight or you get beat up or someone takes your money. So it's one of those things where you earn your stripes as a young man, and that's what I had to do. I just earned my stripes. It was just my normalcy. So I did not know that, until I became older, that wow, that was pretty damn dangerous. I didn't realize that, life was difficult, because we had fun, we had laughter, I was eating, I had friends, so you just, like they say, if life gives you lemons, you make lemonade, and that's what I did. But it really shaped the person who I am, so I don't regret my childhood. I don't regret the way I was brought up, because it's who I am. I bring everything that I went through to my art form and to life, and I'm able to connect with young men who are going through things. It's like, it makes me more accessible, because people think they see the finished product. They say, oh, you're in movies, man. You living a life. They don't see the struggle. They don't see the hard work that goes into it. They don't see, being pulled over by police or a gun put in your face by a policeman. They don't know that story. They see a finished product. And, when I'm able to sit down with young men and I'm like, yeah, okay, now, tell me something.
Yeah.
Okay, let me tell you something, because we have a similar story. And, we can't use that as an excuse. A lot of times we use our childhood, our upbringing as an excuse. It's like, no, I didn't want to be broke. I didn't want to be hungry. I didn't want to, live in an environment where, if I had a family, that they would have to fight and claw their way out of it. You just want to be able to provide. And there were days you go hungry. There were days like that. There were days where, I was just like, this is not good. Yeah. But overall, I had a great childhood,
But what a great move to go into the Marines. Who inspired that? Because that helped you get out of that system, right? Can you hear me? Morocco? Hello? Cannot. That's the delay. All right. Hey, can you hear me? We're back.
I don't hear you and I don't see you.
Really? It's that delay. So what do we do? Morocco, can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Oh, is it? No, maybe it's us. Morocco, can you hear me? Okay. It's that delay. But we are live. So let's try and reconnect. Let's try and get out. Can you take me out and we can reconnect? Sorry about that, all those technical difficulties. We are going to try and reconnect with Morocco Omari just now. Let's see. Rocco, are you there? Are you there? Are we back? Are you here with me?
I'm here.
Yay, thank you so much. You know, technology sometimes has a mind of its own. So, and you were telling me about, you know, you growing up and your background and just how you have been taken out of the system. And you now are a person you're living your own life. Do you have any children? Do you have a family? Tell me about Morocco.
Yeah, I have 2 daughters. You know,
daddy, daughter.
Yeah, one's a young adult and the youngest is 11. You know, and hopefully I do them proud because I'm proud of both of them. So yeah, I have 2 daughters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is amazing. That is incredible. And I'm sure, you know, having 2 daughters and it being International Women's Month, there are lessons that you want to impart and you want to leave them with and you want to kind of inspire them with. What is the one thing that you want your daughters and any other girl to know?
Wow. That's a how do I answer that question? You know, the life lessons I tell my daughter, you know, and I try to lead by example, is to, you know, to dream big and to follow your dreams, never give up, you know, be honest, be real with people, um, you know, love people, travel, um, you know, be responsible, invest your money.
Yeah.
Um, so it's so many life lessons and respect yourself and advocate for yourself. Don't let anybody disrespect you, you know. So, you know, there's so many lessons, you know, along the way of, you know, just, you know, every day is a lesson. Every day is something to learn. You know?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. And you spoke about traveling, and I know that you are on a mission to travel every single country in Africa. You have traveled more countries than I have in the land.
Yeah.
And you're what? You're at 16 now? Are you?
Yeah, I'm at 16.
Yeah?
I'm at 16.
And tell me about that. What inspired you traveling the whole of Africa?
Well, it started, the first time I went to Africa, it was in 2006. It was in Mombasa, Kenya.
Yeah.
And I had such an amazing time. It was such an amazing, it was life-changing. You know, it was a great journey. It was spiritual and it just affected me. I was just like, you know, our media in the West just puts such a negative, you know, lens on the continent. And I was just, you know, it's just like, oh, if Kenya is this beautiful, then there's other beautiful places. So, and I set on a journey to see the different countries of Africa. And it's been wonderful. It's been amazing. Some countries I've hit more than once. So
really? Because it's that good.
South Africa being one, Uganda and Kenya and Rwanda being another. So I have to go to other, you know, different countries that's calling me. I mean, due to, you know, COVID, it's put a pretty much a halt on that journey. But, you know, hopefully I'll finish up that mission. I was supposed to teach in Cameroon next month, but
I
start work in April, so I can't teach the workshop in Cameroon. And
are you at liberty to share which production you're working on from April?
Yeah, I mean, one is a movie. It's an independent film.
Okay.
Kind of a romantic comedy. The other one is a TV show called 61st Street, and it's produced by Michael B. Jordan. He's executive producing it. He's in Chicago. And then I started my other job in June for P Valley. So I'll be working from like April through November, December with like the different TV shows.
And that is typically a good year for an actor if you're booked throughout the year.
That's incredible. That's the stuff we dream about, actually.
Yeah.
We really dream about like
Sure.
having a TV show, and having 2 TV shows. It's just that's the stuff we because we take our resources, and then I'm able to like I say, help filmmakers and
Sure.
And, buy land in Africa or something, build
Yes. You belong here. Actually, you need to be an ambassador by now. I think you've earned your stripes. Now, when I got, when you were in my radar and how much you actually travel Africa, I think you were teaching in Rwanda, and I stand to be corrected. But I then got interested in knowing, what are you teaching? What's happening? There's a movement happening, and we want to know about it.
Well, it's an actor's workshop, and I mean, we say acting and filmmaking because a lot of directors don't know what it takes to be an actor, to prepare for a role. So, I invite directors down, producers come down, writers come down, of course, but it's mostly actors, and we tackle, what it is, the business of acting, the craft, acting for the camera. So we break down scripts. We do a lot of things,
Yeah. And what are the barriers? What are the shortcomings that you have experienced being in Africa and getting to understand the industry?
Well, I was in Nigeria about 2 years ago, and the actors was like, the directors, they just want to shoot, and we don't have time to prepare. And I'm not here. I'm not here to solve that problem. I can't do anything about that. How a director shoots, they try to get it done quickly. I can't tell you how to, flip from breaking down crying to laughing within 20 minutes of I'm not able to do that. And it's unfortunate that any actor has to experience that kind of, or some kind of, what we call them, directators who like to scream and yell at actors. Like, I can't tell you. All you can do is advocate for yourself. You know what I'm saying? And I tell my actors in America, which is different from actors or productions in different countries in Africa, that there's power in saying no. I did a play and I had a horrible experience with a director, and I'll never work with her again, and
because you know your worth.
I know my worth, and I don't want to be disrespected. And it comes to a point where you're just like, you know what, this isn't fun, and this feels personal, and let me just, so anytime someone calls me about this person, I'm like, no, I'm not working with that person. And if my friends say, how was it to work with him? I'll give them the truth. Like, this is what you can deal with, but I'm not out bad-mouthing that person. But if my friends or someone close to me, like, what was that experience? Like, I just have to tell them the truth, because I would like them to tell, you don't want to work with anybody who disrespects your craft, because it's very sacred. You want to have fun. It's already hard enough taking on a character, researching a character, and getting in front of 500 people on stage or on camera where millions of people are going to watch. You want to be as creative and as comfortable as possible. There's no reason to be aggravated or upset or ready to fight someone. Then it takes you out of what you're trying to accomplish. And we're entertainers. We're doing art. We're not fighting a war. We're not curing cancer. We're not, you know what I'm saying? It's it shouldn't be that. It shouldn't be stressful.
Absolutely. So if I hear you correctly, you're saying in Africa, one of the shortcomings we have as artists is we don't know our worth. We don't communicate what we want, and we struggle with confidence. Is that what you're saying?
No, absolutely not.
What are you saying? Because I ask about shortcomings. You
No,
know why it's important,
I
and you know why
can't.
it's important. It's
Well,
important because then, I mean, you're in Hollywood and you are in the biggest market in showbiz.
yeah.
And in order for productions in Africa to reach that standard and that level, we need to know where we lack. And you are someone who has a bird's eye view on what's happening.
Well, no, I mean here's the thing.
Yeah.
Presley, who starred in Sotsy, amazing actor. Me and Presley, we talk, and I'm like, he should have been nominated for an Oscar. He should have a career by now. You know, so there is no shortcomings. You have
Okay.
amazing actors. You have amazing artists. There are amazing films coming out of there.
Yeah.
I have an amazing group of actors that I work with in Uganda, in Rwanda, in Nigeria, where else? Kenya, Botswana, that I've worked with that are amazing. It's not about I was giving a specific example of actors in my workshop in Nigeria felt like the turnaround was so fast that they didn't have time to prepare. I'm not calling it a shortcoming. I'm not trying to let me try to, it would be arrogant of me to say, this is what you need to do.
Yeah.
That's arrogant of me to say, you guys have shortcomings and this is why.
It's not really, but I hear you.
I don't speak like that to my people because, you know what I'm saying? I value anybody who puts it, because the stories, the actors, the artists are incredible. And the difference between artists in Africa and a lot of artists, now I'm not saying every artist in America, is that you do it yourselves. You're not waiting on someone to say, please pick me, please, Mr. Can I work with you? No, they're doing it themselves, and that's amazing. So it would be arrogant of me to say, well, you have shortcomings. I can't say that. I would never say anything. I would never say negative. I'm all about, you know what I'm saying? I'm all about hey, man, congratulations. That's great. That's beautiful. That's love, because it's all about finding the positivity in any situation. Not saying, well, you know what I mean? I'm not the dude to be like, oh, that sucks. Look at Africa's work. No, got great work. I mean, I got some actors that are just like, if they were in America, they would work and be making a lot of money. I mean, you look at people like Daniel Kaluuya. He's Ugandan. You look at Idris. You look at all these brothers, these African brothers who grew up in Britain, but they're African brothers that are amazing. Sophie Okonedo. You got amazing actors. I would never speak down to my people. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying with your cap. I love your cap, by the way. So okay, Morocco. Now there's this incredible movie that's out, and you're part of it. Very controversial movie. I mean, controversial story all in itself. And we've been sitting on the sidelines watching it unfold, and then now a movie comes out, and then you're acting as Kevin Hunter in the Wendy Williams movie.
Yeah.
How did that gig come about, first of all, but also, how did you even prepare? I mean, the way we see it and how what things we've heard of Kevin are monstrous. What did you have to do to prepare for that?
Okay, the first part of the question, how did it come about?
Yeah.
That was surprising to me as well. And I've told this story. I was painting my stairs. We were in the middle of a pandemic. I was painting my stairs.
Getting busy.
Yeah, just staying busy. And I get a call from my manager. And anytime my managers are two managers that are on the phone at the same time, it means business. And I thought we were closing another deal. And they were like, no, this isn't what that is. This is a movie. This is a Wendy Williams movie. And I'm like, I don't know anything about it. Audition for it. I never read a script on it. And it was like, no, it's a straight offer. I was like, oh, really? Yeah. So I said, well, they sent me the script, and and I read through. I skimmed through it. I was like, let me see how far they're going to go, because, like you said, I heard stories. I don't follow Wendy Williams's life in the media, but I heard stories that he cheated on her and mentally and physically abusive. And I was like, well, let me see what's going on. So I skimmed through, and I was like, okay, It's for TV. They're not going as dark as they could have went. So I said, all right, cool, let's do it. That was a Monday. I was on a flight by Thursday. They flew me to Vancouver, Canada.
Okay.
And luckily, we had a 2-week quarantine. We had to land there and stay in our apartment for 2 weeks. So with that, I just studied, the script. I went on YouTube, whatever media I could find on the guy. And the guy's a ghost. There was nothing with him on YouTube moving. There were interviews about, people talked about him. And there was one phone interview where I could hear his voice. And then I had all these pictures and I just screenshot all these pictures, and I had that, and I had the script, and I just watched interviews, and then I was watching Wendy Williams and just old interviews and stuff like that. And that's how, and then as I'm watching YouTube, Fat Joe, the rapper, and Dame Dash, who used to be Jay-Z's partner, and I'm watching these guys and just that whole New York kind of cocky, I'm that dude, I'm a boss. So I meshed those two guys together, and I came up with Kevin Hunter, and that's how it came about. Yeah.
So you never met him. You haven't actually even heard his voice, hardly, because it was in the background.
Yeah, it was a phone interview on YouTube. Somebody was interviewing him, and it was a phone interview on YouTube. That's all. So I never met the guy. I never spoke to Wendy. I didn't really have any clues. I just had to make a choice. So at least I had 2 weeks to do it, and I just. And
that's amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
And then, did you call anybody? Was there anyone you could talk to about it? Anybody who knew him, maybe?
Yeah, but they just, everybody said the same thing. He was a bad guy. Like you say, monster of a dude. But that didn't give me the things that I needed. Like, was he left-handed? Was he right-handed? Yes. What kind of cologne did he wear? What was his drink? That kind of stuff. How, I saw pictures of how he wore his jewelry and stuff like that. But, the social economics or a one-parent household, I couldn't get into the meat and go, deeper and deeper. People just said he was a bad guy, and that's surface. When you say, oh, he's just a bad guy, that gives me nothing. It's like, okay, so I didn't have enough. People wasn't giving me enough to go on. Yeah.
But then how do you then prepare for characters like that, where you don't have a reference and it's based on a true story? How do you then create that kind of momentum and you stay in that character?
Well, like when I tell my actors, we have to read that script over and over again. And there are clues, what people say about you, what you say about yourself, what you're fighting for, what your need is, your human behavior. And when you break down all of that, the human behavior, what people are saying about you, like if you say, oh, okay, man, Kevin, man, he's always cheap. He'll never want to pay for nothing. So you got that. You know what I mean? And you write, I wrote down all the notes of all of that, all of the stuff that people said about him. And then I'm writing down, because I had to tackle this character of why he would cheat on a Wendy Williams. So I had to write down, why would he step out? Why would he do this? Or why would he do that? Or what's going on? So I had to break it down as, human, like we all have human behaviors that we deal with, and Wendy Williams is a big personality. She's a huge personality. And, and it's like, you have to live with that every day. You have to, and so I just had to break it down why he started stepping out, why he started doing what he was doing, and my backstory kind of supported his actions. I'm not saying he was right, definitely not saying he was right in what he was doing, but I had to have a backstory and stuff to say why he did what he did. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And then how did you build rapport with your actress, your supporting actress? Is it Sierra Payton? Yeah. How did you build that rapport with her? How did you guys get in a place where you could work together as Wendy and Kevin?
Well, during our quarantine, we'd get on a Zoom. I think she stayed 2 floors below me. So we'd get on a Zoom and we'd read. It was like a meet and greet. Hey, Sierra, how you doing? I'm Morocco. We had never met.
Yeah.
you know, Zoom, and we were talking and just getting to know each other. And then we started reading and talking about certain moments and stuff like that. And once we both came out of quarantine, we met on the roof of the apartment building.
Yeah.
Read through it, and you know, we laughed and we, you know, had a good time, and we just, you know, we got to know each other, and now we've become friends. So it's just, as actors,
yeah,
you have to trust each other. And you know, at first you're just like, oh, okay, let me see, oh man, let me, you know. But she's a giving actress. She's very giving, and you know, it's always great to work with that. And I told her, I said, however you need me, however, you know, whatever you need, man, you know, I'm here for you. So, you know, because it's me and her pretty much in that film. And if we fail, then the film fails. You know what I'm saying? So it can't be like, oh, this is about me and my life. No, it's just like, it's almost like a band. You know, you have different instruments and we have to mesh it together to make a beautiful sound.
Sure. I can't wait till Lifetime brings it to South Africa because I want to watch this movie, especially now after talking to you about it. I haven't seen it. I've seen the trailer, but I really haven't seen the movie, and I can't wait. And so when I've got one last question before we go to a break, and then we come back, and I want to ask you about the future of the industry. But in terms of this particular production, would you say it's one of your monumental productions? If not, then which is?
Yeah, you know, it's I would have to say Wendy Williams opened up a lot of doors because people got to see me more than just, you know, the big brooding or tough guy or the detective, or you know what I'm saying?
You were a lover, right?
I got to show so many different emotions, you know, from being the tough guy to the sensitivity to being supportive. You know what I'm saying? So it's just I got to play different notes, and it's opened up a few doors because a lot of eyes were on it.
Sure.
Yeah. And the show I'm on right now, P-Valley, we're going into our second season. So it shows a whole different character of what I normally play, you know, and he's probably my favorite character he is my favorite character that I played on screen, actually.
Oh, that's nice. That's wonderful. Yeah. Well, you know, I have to say that Kevin guy did that Wendy girl bad. Like, how can you cheat on a woman when she's pregnant? That is her lowest. You know what I mean? But anyway, story for another day. We will be back after this. And when we come back, Morocco, I want to ask you about the future of the industry, particularly because there's so much happening in the digital space, right? And I want to know if you're on Clubhouse. I want to know all kinds of things. So we'll be back after this. This is the Boss Moves Media Show Season 2 premiere, and we are hanging out with Morocco Omari. We'll be back. We're back and we're live. This is the Boss Moves Media Show. This is Season 2 premiere, and we have the incredible Morocco Omari with us. We really appreciate you being here, by the way. And now let's talk about the future of acting in a post-pandemic or in a pandemic world, the future of film, and just how we're going to see things move. I mean, I remember I went to the movie house about 3 months ago, and there really was nothing to watch, And I feel like there's going to be a little bit of a dry season, or maybe not, because productions are now speeding things up more than they probably did. What do we see as the future of the film industry?
Well, like I said, like with the Wendy Williams movie, I had to quarantine for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We got tested twice a week. Your temperature was taken every day.
Yeah.
Show that I just completed, we got tested every day. Temperature check, your temperature checks every day. You got your mask is on while you're rehearsing. Once, you're not rehearsing, you take your mask off, but the crew is always shield, mask. As far as movies are concerned, I have no desire to sit in a movie,
Oh, yeah?
I don't know how they're going to do that. I don't know, if they're going to create some kind of booths or if they bring in like drive-in movies back or something like that.
Yeah, that's happening a lot in South Africa right now.
Yeah. So I don't know as far as the viewing public. I mean, a lot of our stuff is being streamed, going to different network screening like Amazon Prime, Netflix, or HBO Max, stuff like that you have to pay for it.
Yeah.
So stuff like that. I don't know. I know they said they lost billions of dollars with the theatrical movie houses. They've lost a lot. So it's hard, and especially if you own one of those theater complexes, you've lost a lot of money, and you don't know what the future is.
I believe that things really are changing. What happens then, Morocco, if they tell you cannot act in a particular movie if you don't get vaccinated, or you cannot travel if you don't get a vaccine?
Then they would get me. They would get me. I said, yeah, if it affects my work,
okay,
or me traveling, that's how you're going to get me.
Okay,
that's how you're going to get me, because I have to work.
Sure.
And I have to get out of this country.
Yeah. No, of course.
I mean,
you've got work waiting.
I would love to take the vaccination over there.
Why?
Oh my! I mean, there are numerous reasons why, and it's we as African Americans or people of color, we go through a lot just to exist, just to live, just to walk down the street, go to the store, just to drive your car, just to be a student, just to walk into your house, just to sleep in your bed. In any moment, you can get shot. We look at George Floyd. That was over a counterfeit $20 bill. $20. That man's life wasn't worth $20. And we had a police officer who was supposed to serve and protect, kneel on a man's neck over a counterfeit $20 bill. We're talking about $20. You killed a man for $20.
Yeah.
So I say that to say, and you watch the Capitol. If there were Black people trying to do that, it would be different.
Mm-hmm.
So if you see all of this and whatever I've experienced growing up, and you feel like, oh, I'm free, like you have to be out of your mind.
Yeah,
you have to be out of your mind to think that it cannot happen to you. It cannot happen to your kids. It cannot happen to your friends. It cannot happen to your family.
Yep.
You have to be out of your mind.
But I do want to say, though, without cutting you off, I definitely want to say to you that don't even think that being in Africa and me being here makes me feel any freer, because just yesterday, the police killed a man, a man who was just walking by in the middle of a student protest. And these were students who were not even protesting in, it was a peaceful protest. And at that time, when the police started shooting, these students were sitting on the pavement, waiting for a resolution to be reached regarding fees and free education in South Africa, which is something that they were promised. And a man was killed. And so there's police brutality everywhere right now. And I feel like we're being played.
Well, I mean, here's my thing. I experienced what I saw in Cape Town was like, oh, wow. Me and a friend, we went into an ice cream shop. My friend ordered the ice cream, and then Caucasian woman came in after her, ordered hers, and they served her first. Sure. We both looked at each other. It was like, wow. So, I mean,
sorry, the person who was serving that was probably a Black person, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So, South Africa coming out of apartheid in what, 1990? So, as far as it's equivalent to America. Now, there are parts of, different other countries that they don't experience racism. Yeah. Because, they have the numbers and they are in power, and they haven't gone through civil rights and human rights and apartheid and stuff like that. They've gone through other things, but it's so much more, there's nobody shooting you down. I mean, there's skirmishes here and there, but America's a very violent country, man. I mean, we lead the world in incarcerating our own people. We are number one in incarceration.
Sure.
And most of that incarceration
is Black people, Black men to be particular.
Yeah.
Sure. So, I mean, I know we can go on forever with this kind of topic because it works us up inside. The future, right? You're on Clubhouse, and I just followed you on Clubhouse. What do you see this platform as? Where do you see it going? Are you active? What are you currently doing? What are you learning on Clubhouse? What are you taking away? What are you adding?
That's a good question. I did a reading on Clubhouse. That was cool. And sometimes I'll jump in a room or something here and there, but I'm not very active on there. Not yet.
Okay.
And, I'm trying to see how it would benefit me. Lately, my time has been more working, which is good, or just, there's scripts that I'm writing, or there are scripts that people I know that are writing that ask me to read it, and I'm just, giving notes and stuff like that, just trying to figure things out. But yeah, I mean, with Clubhouse and it's a beautiful medium. So some people love it. I'm just not on there as,
Yeah.
I'll peruse like, do I want to go in this room? Or I'll go in the room and I'm listening and I'm like, let me about, but it connects the world. It makes the world.
It does. And the power of conversation and the power of our voices, right? Nothing matches that ever. And I see you continuing with the work that you've started all around the world on that platform. So one day when you really get into it and you want to start participating, I see you really transforming a lot of people's actors' lives, screenwriters, theater actors, you name it, all around the world, because currently there's a need for that. There's a need for that collaboration. There's a need for that bridge to be built. So what can we look forward to in Omari's future? Because I know great things are happening. You're now part of a production that ends in November. What else can we look forward to right now?
I mean, that's really it. That's what's keeping me busy.
Yeah.
We got this film we're about to shoot in April. We're going to shoot that in 11 days. That's the plan. The TV show 61st Street, and then our second season of P-Valley. I don't know if they show P-Valley in.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
So, I mean, that's what's coming up, and that's where my focus is.
Yes.
Anything else comes? I mean, I just did an episode of this TV show called FBI.
Okay.
Detective. So That's a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot. It is a lot. Do you feel like you are being typecast because you act in quite a lot of FBI type of investigative, and you always have that role, of that badass cop or investigator type of?
Well,
Is that you?
I mean, I was, but with Wendy Williams movie with P-Valley, I've been able to show a different side.
Nice.
I mean, like on stage, I play all kind of different characters, but now the doors are opening up where, let's put them for this, or let's do it for that. You know what I'm saying? So it's, I'm fine with it. I'm
sure.
I mean, some roles I won't take a role as a, child molester or something like that. There are some roles
yeah.
I do. I have no desire.
Sure.
So I'll play FBI and detectives all my life. If it pays the bill and helps college, then let's do it, man. I'll take it.
I feel you. I absolutely feel you. Earlier on, you spoke about something very important. You spoke about money. And at this time, a lot of actors are cash strapped. A lot of people just in showbiz in general are cash strapped because, the habits and the lifestyles that we've been living haven't really been conducive, especially for a time such as this. What advice would you give somebody who just moving forward,
It's hard to give advice in the middle of a pandemic,
Yeah.
It really is, because I know a lot of people that are actors and they're not working. They're, and a lot of times
seasoned, not just.
Yeah. Sure. So, and then the restaurants were shut down. So if you were supporting yourself, being a waiter or working in the service industry, that was another, so it's hard to give people hope when it comes to that. I was fortunate because all last year I wasn't working. I didn't work. The industry was shut down. And the Wendy Williams movie, I got a call. So that was the only job I worked last year. Luckily I have 20 years of credits and stuff that I've done. So you'll get checks and, that'll come what we call residuals, or you'll subsidize it through unemployment, and you just make smart moves. People call me Frugal Frank because I'm like, right. I might have a job today, but tomorrow I don't know. So I can't just, let me go out and just splurge,
Minimalist, eh?
Yeah, I try to be, there are things that I like. If I like something, I really like something. Like if I want to travel, like I'll get on a plane, but I'm not buying all the materialistic. One of my friends in South Africa, in Johannesburg, like, Morocco, you wouldn't survive here. I was like, why? South Africans, y'all are flashy. Y'all like the clothes.
Yeah.
We
like things.
Y'all like things. What I'm like? It's like Joburg reminds me of Atlanta. Atlanta's the same way. It's just like, I'm chilling, man. I got my car. My car is old, but it's paid off. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like every time I'm not going to do the Benz and all that, Range Rover and Ferraris or anything like that, man. It's just, I keep it simple. If it gets me to point A and point B and it's dependable, cool, man. I'm not trying to be flashy because you never know when a pandemic happens. You never know when. I had to buy my mom a garage door last week. So, because a garage door, went out and she didn't have the money. So you never know when you need to have the resources to do certain things, and I'd rather be able to help my family than, I got on Gucci,
right.
Where am I going with Gucci on in the middle of a pandemic? So
unless they're paying.
Unless they're giving it to me. Yeah. So I just try to keep it real simple and real easy. I bought some land in Rwanda. That was a big purchase last year.
Whoa, that's major.
Right. And so I plan to build a house, hopefully by the end of this year or early next year. But, because of my work schedule, I probably won't be able to get back until the end of the year or early next year and start. But
that's a reason for me to. Nice. That's the reason for me to come to Rwanda. I'm going to come to Rwanda for the first time and come and chill by your crib. You know what I mean? You're an absolute treat.
There'll be enough room.
Yes, definitely. I really appreciate you. You are amazing. And just like you said, you love to keep it simple, but yet you do it in such a big way. And I appreciate that about you. I've learned a lot from you over the years, and today especially. Thank you so much. I absolutely love you. And hopefully we can meet up again soon. They can open these doors and these gates and we can just all have fun, you know? I can't wait.
Indeed. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Morocco, and all the best with everything. God bless. Morocco Omari, man, absolutely love him, and I hope you enjoyed it as well. The Boss Moves Media Show Season 2 premiere with an incredible human being, all round inspiration, and I hope you took home what you needed to take home today, because listen up, the world is yours. You are taking over, and if you don't believe that, start believing it right now. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining. And we'll be back with you next week, Friday. We're back, baby. It is the Boss Moves Media Show. Thank you to the team. I love you guys. Always doing it big. Bye.